Donald Trump has never been afraid of controversy. In fact, controversy has often been his strongest political weapon. But this time feels different. What initially looked like a bold, defiant move is now being viewed by many, including some of his own supporters, as a serious miscalculation. The reaction has been swift, the backlash has been loud, and the consequences may be long-lasting. Legal pressure is increasing, political tensions are rising, and Trump's future path forward suddenly looks far less predictable. So what exactly happened? Why are analysts calling this a huge mistake? And how could this single moment reshape Trump's political legacy? Let's break it all down. Section 1. Trump's reputation for risky decisions. Donald Trump built his career on risk. As a businessman, he took chances others avoided. As a politician, he rejected tradition and rewrote the rulebook. This approach helped him dominate media cycles, energize supporters, and rise to the highest office in the country. Bold moves became his brand. Confrontation became his strategy. Sometimes it worked brilliantly. Other times, it triggered chaos, both inside and outside government. But what separates this moment from the past is one critical factor. This decision didn't just anger critics. It unsettled people who once stood firmly by his side. Section 2. The mistake everyone is talking about. This wasn't a single speech, it wasn't a single post, and it wasn't one isolated legal issue. It was the combination of poor timing, aggressive messaging, and strategic misjudgment. At a moment when Trump needed to appear focused, controlled, and forward-thinking, he instead reignited old conflicts. Instead of reassuring undecided voters, he created uncertainty. Instead of strengthening unity, he exposed division. Instead of controlling the narrative, he handed it to his opponents. Political observers immediately sensed the shift. Something felt off. Section 3. Why timing made it worse. Timing can make or break a political career, and this moment could not have come at a worse time. Trump is already facing intense legal scrutiny. The media spotlight is relentless. Public opinion remains deeply polarized. Under these conditions, even small mistakes get amplified. But Trump didn't step back. He pushed forward aggressively. That choice didn't just invite criticism, it fueled it. Critics didn't have to search for material. They were handed it. Section 4. Legal and political fallout. The consequences began unfolding almost immediately. Legal analysts started questioning whether Trump had unintentionally strengthened arguments against himself. Political insiders warned that this move could complicate future defense strategies, not just in court, but in the court of public opinion. Even conservative commentators, usually reliable defenders, expressed concern. And that's the danger zone. When opponents attack you, it's expected. When allies hesitate, the ground starts to shift. Section 5. Media reaction explodes. The media response was instant. Headlines flooded news outlets, clips spread across social platforms, panel debates dominated television screens. Some framed Trump as reckless. Others described the move as desperate. Few still defended him, but their voices were noticeably less confident. The conversation changed. Instead of discussing Trump's future plans or potential comeback, the focus became damage control. Section 6. The impact on Trump's supporters. Trump's supporters have always been one of his greatest strengths. Their loyalty has survived scandals, investigations, and endless criticism. But loyalty doesn't mean blind agreement. This moment caused many supporters to pause, not abandon him, but question the strategy. Some wondered if the move was necessary. Others felt it distracted from more pressing issues, and many expressed a growing sense of political exhaustion. That fatigue matters, because enthusiasm wins elections, and exhaustion weakens movements. Section 7. Why this mistake matters long-term. This isn't just another headline that disappears overnight. This moment could resurface again and again. Opponents will reference it. Legal teams may revisit it. Voters will remember how it made them feel. Politics is about perception, and once uncertainty enters the narrative, removing it becomes incredibly difficult. Even if Trump moves forward, this moment will likely follow him. Section 8. Was this avoidable? According to many political analysts, absolutely. There were quieter paths available, more controlled approaches, less confrontational options. But restraint has never been Trump's natural instinct. What once felt like strength, fearlessness, aggression, confidence, may now be working against him. The political environment has changed, and adapting to that reality may be his biggest challenge yet. Section 9. What happens next? Trump now stands at a crossroads. There are 3 realistic paths forward. He doubles down, escalating conflict and reinforcing his defiant image. He adjusts his strategy, tightening messaging and regaining control. He waits it out, hoping attention shifts elsewhere. None of these options are without risk, and history suggests Trump rarely chooses the quiet route. Section 10. The bigger picture. This moment is about more than a single decision. It reveals a deeper tension, a clash between the Trump who once thrived on disruption and the reality of a political landscape that now demands precision. The stakes are higher, the margins are thinner, and mistakes carry heavier consequences. Trump's influence is still powerful. His supporters are still passionate. His voice is still loud. But the question isn't whether Donald Trump can survive this moment. The real question is whether he can evolve beyond it. Because in politics, adaptability often determines longevity. What happens next will shape not just Trump's future, but the direction of the movement built around him. And right now, everyone is watching. Donald Trump's political story has never been simple. It's been loud, unpredictable, controversial, and impossible to ignore. For years, Trump has survived moments that many believed would end his career. He's faced investigations, impeachments, scandals, and relentless criticism. And yet, he remains standing. That's why this moment feels so important. Not because it's the loudest controversy, not because it's the most dramatic headline, but because it raises a deeper question about direction. Is this still the same strategy that once brought success? Or is it a sign that the political landscape has changed, while the approach hasn't? Supporters see strength in defiance. Critics see recklessness, and undecided voters are watching closely, trying to decide what this all really means. This isn't just about Donald Trump as a person, it's about leadership. It's about accountability. It's about whether doubling down is still effective in a world that's growing increasingly tired of constant conflict. History has shown us something important. Political careers don't usually end in one dramatic moment. They change direction slowly, met through perception, fatigue, and missed opportunities. And sometimes the biggest turning points don't look explosive at first. They look like hesitation. They look like doubt. They look like people quietly asking questions they never asked before. Whether this becomes a defining mistake or just another storm Trump manages to survive will depend entirely on what happens next, how he responds, how he adjusts, and whether he listens to the warning signs around him. Because in politics, momentum can disappear faster than it's built. And once trust begins to crack, even slightly, repairing it is one of the hardest challenges any leader can face. So now, the conversation is open. What do you think? Did Donald Trump miscalculate at a critical moment? Or is this simply another example of the media overreacting to a familiar playbook? Share your honest opinion in the comments. Respectful discussion matters more than ever. If this breakdown helped you see the situation more clearly, hit the like button. And if you want more calm, unbiased, reality-based political analysis, make sure you subscribe, because the story isn't over, and the next chapter could change everything.